Okay, here we go with another sort of a tortilla thing. This is kind of a strange one. I guess the closest thing you could really call it is a crepe, but I'm still going to press it out in the press instead of doing a really loose pour type batter. Anyway, we have half a cup of peanut butter, cocoa. It's the PB2, one I like. We got 2 tablespoons of psyllium husk, and then we have half a cup of coconut powder. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to leaven this one just because it's going to be kind of a sticky, just because of a little bit of sugar that's in with the peanut butter. And this is kind of an experiment, so we'll see how it turns out. Anyway, I'm going to mix this together and then add water until I get the mix just right, and I will let you know later on how much that took. Okay, we got our batter mixed up. Took a cup and a half to get to this one. It's a little on the thick side, but we'll just see what happens. I'm letting my press heat up, and I'll let you see how they look as I get one. Or maybe you'll never see this video because it sucks. Okay, we're on number 3 here. I think I got it dialed in. I added a little more, or I added some sweetener to this. I put 2 tablespoons of the Lakanto monk fruit, just like a spoon you'd eat with, not measured tablespoon. Anyway, 2 of those is rounded. Doesn't really come through as any peanut butter or chocolate. It's kind of like I was just making, which basically is almond and coconut flour tortilla or a wrap. It's almost the same recipe, except I didn't do salt or leavening. I just did it as just a little sweetener. But it comes off pretty sweet. I don't taste anything. The texture is actually pretty good on these. So it's just as good as any if you're going to do one using almond flour. I'm just using a different nut flour in this place. Those are actually amazing. That's some of the better than the ones that I do typically. Anyway, we're just going to take another one of our, I took 1/6, and that's filling up this 10-inch press pretty good. So we take those, we set it out there, center's about here. Put that down, close it up, and as always, we slowly close this. It's going to go exploding out the sides. Yeah, see, starting to get loud. It means I'm going too fast. I don't know why I wear black shirts all the time and then I want to bake. I just wear a lot of black shirts and blue jeans, okay? And hats. We're getting some squeeze here. Yeah, we're getting a bit. Easy to fix. We're just going to slide this over a touch. So just kind of blow out along that edge a little bit. So, just right back into it. Yeah, still trying to go just a little too much. Anyway, we will let those go for a little longer. Okay, this is the last one coming out. Looking pretty good. Cooks a little more on the other side. I like a little toasty like that. Brings out that toasty in the nut flour that you're using. For this case, it is peanut. So it's PB2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I ate one. But look how soft and beautiful those are. Strong. And that's ready for a wrap. These aren't super sweet. I didn't need to add any. I was just thinking the chocolate and the peanut butter were going to come through on them, but they really didn't. So anyway, yeah, these are ready for anything. If you don't mind them a little bit sweet, I'd wrap pretty much anything. It's no different than like, say, a King's Hawaiian roll, something like that. Probably not even as sweet as those. But wow, I might have found a new nut flour. So anyway, I'll write this up. Like I said, it was a cup and a half. I used no salt. I used half a cup of coconut flour, half a cup of PB2, chocolate PB2, this stuff. 2 tablespoons of psyllium husk powder, and 2 just spoons. Here, I'll show you. This is my Lakanto monk fruit. I do just one of these. That's it. Or I did 2 of those, but when I say teaspoon or tablespoon, whatever, that's pretty much what I mean when I'm doing the sweetener, just off the hip like that. Otherwise, I usually measure it. But anyway, yeah, these are going to be pretty amazing. I am impressed. I like that better than my just plain coconut, because this has got a lot stronger. But when I do the almond and some of the other nut flours, they get a little too kind of grainy. This superfine PB2 peanut butter, I don't know what it did, what's different, but man, it is amazing. So anyway, I'll be experimenting with those. I'm not going to do the cost breakdown on this one yet. If you're not aware, I'm doing a new series. It's kind of something to do with like stimulus package and people that, you know, looking for a helping hand here and there. How we're going to get by without any of that, and how we can help each other. If we know of any programs, it can be government, it can be local charities, church groups, anything. You know them and know how to help people, and that they may not know about it, let us know, and we will spread the word and help each other out. The main thing that I'm trying to show with Homemade Crusade is that, look, this isn't hard, and this wasn't even expensive, and I'm using some pretty expensive things, but I got, 6 wraps. 5 survived, and it really wasn't that much money. I will do the cost breakdown, but if I was just doing straight flour tortillas, all-purpose, or even some corn tortillas, you can make this stuff very, very cheap. A lot of your different soups, but I'm going to go through and break it down. Like, here's what a can of this costs, or a package of this costs, and I'm going to show you how few ingredients are in them, first of all, in my version, and or any of your versions. Please feel free to share any of your homemade recipes. That's what Homemade Crusade is there for. But I'm going to do them side by side, show you how long it takes, how easy it is, how much money, their huge long list of ingredients and preservatives versus our 0 preservatives, just straight up. Also how we can do set up real quick and do like a dozen of them in little baggies. That's what I do. See, I just did, I don't know what order I'm posting these in. I did 2 different dry roux. See, one's a little darker than the other one. This is for doing your like cream soups or any kind of thing where you need a roux as a base, where you do like for like a can of cream of mushroom, which would be the first one I do, I think, in the series, is 2 tablespoons of your flour and 2 tablespoons of fat. You toast your butter or oil or whatever. It doesn't matter what your fat is. And usually you have to brown the flour, and that's what makes your roux. Well, you don't have to brown it in this because I already browned it off in the oven. And now I can throw it right in, throw the oil in, throw the liquid in, and just mix it. And other than making sure you don't get any lumps, that's all you got to do, so it's even faster. You don't have to cook off that raw flour out because the raw flour taste is already totally cooked off. And I've got it up to a caramel or a whatever color I want. So if you're doing like a gumbo or something like that and you want a darker roux, you just do it all in bulk and you've got it ready to go. You don't have to sit there over the stove the entire time trying to make sure you get just that perfect, light to dark or whatever roux it is you're looking for when you're trying to get a perfect gumbo or gravy or whatever you're doing. So anyway, I'm going to do those and get into it, but literally like the 2 tablespoons fat, 2 tablespoons flour, and 2 cups of your liquid. It can be broth, it can be milk, it can be anything, and that's a mother sauce. That's your bechamel. You can turn that into gravies, into the mac and cheese, any of your cheese sauces, all that stuff. Really easy, real cheap way. I mean, you can do cheese sauces that are all, and other gravies that are just pure cream. Way expensive, way higher fat, and I don't keep a lot of cream laying around. I do have powdered that I'll throw into some of these mixes, but anyway, we can throw together a dozen of them in no time. You're literally just going through and saying, oh, 2 tablespoons in this, 2 tablespoons this, go through just so you get distracted, which we all tend to sometimes. Go through, throw them all in, mix them all up, throw them in the fridge if you're going to keep them for just a little while, throw them in the freezer if it's going to be for longer. I just write down what it is, what goes on it, toss them in the freezer, take any air out of the baggie. I use these little snack size, or these are sandwich size. You get even smaller snack size. And this is just the roux. But if I was doing like a replacement can of mushroom or can of chicken or whatever it is, cream of chicken, I'd have that all just set up in one of those little baggies, or I might write it that's a double batch or whatever. Because sometimes you're doing like a casserole that requires 2 cans. Well, you can do a double batch of that and you'll end up with plenty to do the entire casserole. And like I said, you think that going on sale for $1 a can or whatever it is for the store brands, it's nowhere near as good, and this homemade is so much better for you, so much cheaper, and it is every bit as fast, especially if you pre-make the roux. But even there, you're only saving maybe 5 minutes. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Comment, like, subscribe. Check us out over at homemadeCrusade.com. Join the community over there. There's lots of incentives to do things over there. You earn credits. Those credits are going to be converted into raffle tickets for prizes off the beginning. And eventually, as we grow as a community, it'll be up to the community, but we'll probably start taking the credits and let those get turned or rolled over into any earnings that the community has generated. So if we're all buying everything that we buy off of Amazon and off of Thrive Market or any of these things, and all the stuff that we do, if we do it through our community links, all that money's going into a pot, and we're going to split it all up based on our participation. That's what those credits are. You're getting credit for your participation, be it your involvement in discussions, putting up recipes, just everything you do, you get credit for. Bringing more people into the system, and you get credit for stuff that they do, and it actually goes like 5 levels deep just to give you more incentive to push it. It's no MLM, there's no other money or anything weird involved. It's just the only proper way I could come up with to give incentive, but then also to give equitable position to those who are working the hardest. So anyway, it's a great setup. I hope you all join me. My life is into that. I'm literally, I live and work, and this is my studio, this is in my bedroom. So I've been in many wealth positions, and I put everything into this Homemade Crusade and a couple other projects. I got hacked, lost everything. I've been rebuilding this for the last year, selling everything that I own and down to nothing. So this is my one last crack at it, and I hope you will all join me, and we will make it a great success. And by success, that it doesn't mean just me making money and a retirement off of it, but just getting the word out, showing people how cheap and easy you can live extremely well. So, haven't come up with any good slogans for any of that yet, but we'll figure it out. I've got trust in all the people who are joining the community. So anyway, I love you all. Thank you. Don't forget to share, like, comment, all that fun stuff. And we will see you soon on the next one. Thanks.